Hey, what's going on social media? Uh, Listen, what's going on social media? What's going on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram? What's happening? What's going on? This is your host, your boy Alpheus Gibbs, and this is Increase Podcast. Listen, I appreciate you guys for rocking with me, and I just want to, share some things with you guys today. Just want to say, hey, what's happening? What's going on? Hope you guys had an amazing and a fabulous week. This is just one of many things that I'm trying to do and putting out there so that people just understand and know that we're here just to increase you on your everyday life. Before we even go any further within the podcast, I on Monday we had what is called Labor Day, and for many, we don't understand. Thanks, sis. We don't understand what Labor Day is. It's just a day that we just get off or whatever. And so I wanted to just give you guys a little synopsis of Labor Day, and then we'll go into the podcast subject. But Labor Day was declared a national holiday in 1894, and it is observed on the first Monday of September. Um, and one of the key things about it, especially, is the fact that um, its roots is dealing with violence that clash between workers, and it clash between workers and the police, right? It is tied to the Haymarket riot of 1886, wherein thousands of workers in Chicago took to the streets to demand an 8-hour workday. So instead of working from sun up to sundown, they wanted to just have an 8-hour week, work day. And so that is the premise of us having Labor Day, is a celebration of laborers coming together and saying, we're not going to allow you to abuse us any longer, but we're going to band together, and we're going to make sure that we get what we truly deserve. So it wasn't even about money, it was truly about just being overworked. Just like many of us feel today that we're, overworked and underpaid, and seem like you have not enough hours in the day to do what it is that you feel like you've been called to do, or just to handle just your day-to-day life. And so it brought me and prompted me to this particular thought here, and that is, what does it truly mean to be successful? In today's society, we look on social media, and to be honest, everyone is showing their upside, or they're portraying themselves to be on this level that everybody else is trying to get to. And I just wanted to have this conversation with you, my increased audience, my increased family, because I want to know, what do you consider to be successful? Or what is it that you in your personal life was going to say, listen, I'm not successful yet. I'm waiting until I get to here, or when I achieve this, then I'll be successful. In my studies and in my, research or what have you, I began to come across a few things that talked about success, and it really painted a picture for me to really understand what it is to be successful. And it just says success is a state or condition of meeting a defined range of expectations. It may be viewed as an opposite of failure. The criteria for success depends on context and may be relative to a particular observer or belief system. And that's in and of itself, is self-explanatory. Here's the part where a lot of times we mess up and we miss it. And that is when you're trying to, when you're making yourself measure up to people who are living their life. Amber said, when my grandson Grace cannot have to worry. Absolutely. That's but here's the thing. Even in that, you have to really even define even what that is. What is the worry? And all of that really is predicated on our outlook on life, our outlook on what success is. Because the truth of the matter is that we could be really successful and happy with very little, or we could be happy and successful with a lot, or what we consider to be successful with having a lot. And it's not only just about perspective, but it's really, am I really trying to acquire a lot of stuff, or trips or whatever to say that I'm successful, or am I really trying to measure myself up against the lifestyle of somebody else? And when you are living your life and you're mapping out your life before you even start living it, you start mapping it out, what it is that you want and how you want to get there. When you finally get to that place, are you really even saying that you're successful? Because we like when you look at a lot of like celebrities, for instance, and they're like, oh yeah, I was in 15 movies, but it wasn't until I got this dream role that I really began to look at myself as being successful. But then from a person from the outside looking in who goes to the movies, it's like, man, it's a dream just to be in a movie, in a major production, and you're able to travel and you have someone doing your hair and your makeup, and you're wearing all these nice clothes, or you're putting on your costume or whatever for the role that you're playing. For the person on the outside looking in, that seems to be successful. But for the person who's playing the role and they're like, yeah, I did all of these different roles, but it wasn't until I did this that I was successful. Their measurement of success was that. I think if we really want to be honest, success isn't really built around the outwardness, but it's more so internal. That if we truly just said, the mere fact that I'm moving incrementally to the place where I want to be and where I want to go is success. I think a lot of the anxiety and even depression that we feel and that we go through, we'll find that it's not only unnecessary, but we're also begin to see exactly where we lie in life and really begin to enjoy the journey. Gary Vaynerchuk always talks about falling in love with the process, falling in love with the journey of getting there. We have people now who they're like, when they speak about being wealthy, they skip over being a millionaire and they're like, I want to be a billionaire. And in them saying it and speaking it, they would just want the end result. They're not looking at the process. The way that we should truly begin to look at success is not that I've gotten to the goal that I've mapped out into my life, but that I truly begin to watch myself metamorph into the person to obtain the very thing that I wanted. Like that was the success, that I overcame the obstacles, that I kept pushing forward, that I made a sacrifice and I became diligent in what I wanted. It's a bodybuilder who I follow very heavily on social media, and he has a documentary about himself, and it's called My Guilty Obsession. And he has to work out, like that was his thing. And people will tell him, hey, you just got a new heart, whatever. But he kept going. He's like, listen, it's not about the weight, it's about me doing what it is that I love to do. And I think that a lot of times we're so busy looking at the end goal that we really don't even get a chance to enjoy the journey, and we don't get a chance to enjoy where we're going and the path that it took to get there. Like there was once a time wherein you wasn't there, right? And then now, not only are you moving towards your goal, but your body is changing, your mind is changing. Like the people around you, their lives are being affected by it in a positive manner, and you're really moving toward that thing, versus like you just do something like instant transmission, or like this, Star Trek type thing where you beam me up and I'm there type thing. I think when we try to rush to get to a successful place, or a place where we think is successful prematurely, we don't enjoy the very thing that we really worked hard to get toward. Let's look at it like in relationships, for instance. You're pushing to get married, but you skipped over the friendship. And so you're married and you have the ring, and you have the spouse, but you're married to a perfect stranger. So it's not even that you go through troubling times and then you discover that this person isn't for you, but the mere fact that you've gone through all of these other steps and you omitted the one that was there to be a binder and a help and a revealer of a personhood, which is that friendship. And we even do this even in business. People are like, well, I have an idea, I want to be a business owner. And so they go on YouTube or they go on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and they hear, oh, well, you can start this business for under $1,000. And so they spend their money getting the LLC, they spend their money buying the equipment, they spend their money finding the building and all of this stuff. And then when it comes time to actually producing it, you don't have the energy to do it, neither do you have the interest. It sounded good for the moment, but you didn't even really consider the fact that you're going to still have to do whatever it is to make money. And I think that's even sometimes when we look at our careers in life or even going to school for college, like it sounds great to say I have a degree, or it sounds great to say I work for this particular company. It's something else when you realize that as you get it, that you did all of that into a field that you didn't like, or you joined a job that the culture doesn't fit who you are as a person. And so you dread going to work, you dread, having this degree, and you have all of this debt, and now it's not producing anything for you. So you still go back to the question of, well, what does it mean to be successful? Because you've done positive things and they're meaningful, but you're not happy. It didn't bring you joy. It didn't do anything outside of be like a trophy that's sitting on your mantle. It's nice to look at. You talk to people about it and go, yeah, I was able to do this, but it really didn't bring you any more joy or satisfaction outside of that. um I think a lot of times we measure our lives, and we measure um and pattern ourselves after people unrealistically. Let me give you an example. You have you and your spouse have a child together, and you want to give your child the very best that you can, but you have the best that you can give, you have the best that social media tells you you're supposed to give, and then you have the best that your friends and family tell you that is imperative for you to give. So you end up spending so much time and so much effort into doing all of these things that feel unnatural, that sometimes you don't even agree with, but we do it so that you won't hear words from friends and family or so on and so forth. And then when it finally gets down to the nitty gritty, when you finally say, all right, I'm going to go my own route, you don't ascribe success to your parenting. You look at all of the areas where you weren't able to do, and you consider yourself more of a failure as a parent than you are a successful parent. So, in essence, we look for more of a failure in our life more than we even look for the success in our life. The fact that you were able to produce a baby, success. The fact that you're able to make sure that the baby is safe and is fed, success. The fact that you're able to do all of those things and maintain a life of your own, whether it is you going out or whether it is you watching whatever at home, or you're enjoying the time of watching your baby develop and grow. It's a success. Success isn't the end goal, but the success is the process and the path to getting to a goal that is always moving. Success is the process and the path. This is my definition: the process and the path of getting to the goal that's always expanding. Because as you get to the goal of you know, owning a business, or getting your dream job, and or getting your degree, or having a spouse, or having children, or whatever, it continues to expand and grow. And then there are offshoots of it that you need to explore and enjoy. And even in your frustration, see that it's those frustrations are there as a means of a doorway opening to explore not only another emotion, but another way of thinking, and another way to process and handle something else in your life. I think that a lot of times we look at our life and we see more failure than success, because we think of success as being the trophy on the mantle, not saying, you know what, I stayed up and I studied, and even though I was studying and I was up all night, I had a partner who was studying with me, who was in the same classroom, and they're really funny, and we really vibe together, and we possibly could even work in the same sector or same business together. Or you start a business and you make all of these networking connections that, even if you don't use it in your business, it shows that you have enough communicative skill to speak to someone, and to not only gain their information but also help them on their journey as they help you navigate your own journey. We began to really look at success as a way of going back to and reverting back to our childhood, where you can imagine again, and you can just allow your dreams to really come true. You can truly have the Cinderella story, because you understand that as much as you have to deal with the ugly stepsisters and the mom, the end result is not getting the prince. It is leaving from where you are and starting a new journey. It's really saying and really showing you how you can endure. And even while you're enduring, that you're also developing other skills and talents within yourself. I think, man, if we really just look at what it takes, or what does success really is, it's so expansive that, you know, it's something that is forever being developed within us. I think many of us, we've been duped into believing that once you became grown, that your imagination and your dreams will not come true. That you begin to dread taxes, you begin to dread, getting older, and your body going through changes and things. We stop really just enjoying watching ourselves grow and learning. We stop being in that place where life became such a joy, because and I said this one time to someone, the Joneses that we've created is only in our mind. The Joneses says, well, hey, um you got to have this purse. I don't know where you're going to go, but you need to have it. You got to have the red bottoms. Yeah, they're going to hurt your feet. Yeah, everybody around you can't afford them, but at least you can say that you own a pair of red bottoms. You have to go on this trip. You gotta, because everybody on social media is going, and you'll be the envy of all of your friends. But it's not a place that you want to go, but you gotta go because it's there. And so you begin to dread it, and you begin to say things like, it's lonely at the top. It's not lonely at the top. It's only lonely where you are, because success brings people with you. Success says, all right, I'm responsible, but I'm also equipped enough to manage what I have. I'm not in such a manner and in a place where I can't, but it's really causing me to create something new. I think a lot of relationships, married and friendships, could be saved if we really look more at the successes of the relationship instead of the failures of it. We're all going to have issues in our life, in our relationships, where things are not going to go well, wherein you're not going to enjoy everything that a person does and says. You're not going to always agree or whatever. But here's the thing, being able to communicate with the person, being able to share your fears and your dreams, your successes and your losses, all of those things are part of the process. The success comes in that whatever came your way, not only were you able to overcome it, but you were able to see beyond it. That when stress came, you didn't separate, you didn't push the other one over in the corner and try to be Superman or try to be the Lone Ranger, but you truly wanted to be that person that says, I can't do this without you. Even in friendships, you don't want to be that friend that is, always, I got it. No, no, no. We're here to work together. We're here to collaborate together. We're friends for a reason. We're together for a reason. And I think that a lot of times, again, we place success or what we think is success on such this high pedestal because of the outward influence. And so, like putting on your big brother, your big sister's clothes as a child, when they are an adult, we put on the world's social media and the news media and magazines what beauty is and what success is. Oh, I gotta have the Bentley. You know what's funny? I had a conversation with someone and we were talking about six-figure income. And I was like, a lot of people don't really realize, it's really hard to get to the six figure. And once you get there, it's a lot easier to get to like the millionaire status. And then we're like, yeah, because you need like 250,000 or 500,000, to really just say that you are a six-figure earner. And I was like, no, no, 100,000 will get you there. That is the marker, right? But because social media and the media and magazines and all of these things that we see in front of us says the only way that you're going to be successful is that you're a millionaire and you have to have a yacht and you have to fly a private or first class everywhere you go. And but they never tell you how much work it took to get there, and that they're not striving to get more. They're striving to understand, to manage what they have. And so they hire people and they bring people around them who is smarter than them, who are skilled as them, but in various places so that they can maintain their status. So here's the funny thing. The same way that you can be successful by way of um getting to your goals or having whatever, you can also lose it, because we see a lot of celebrities, right? Who we used to see them all the time, but by way of bad investment or going through a divorce or whatever, they lose it. And for some who understand what success is, even when all of those trinkets are taken away, they'll tell you, I'm successful not because I survived, but because I didn't make myself to be, successful because I had those things. I was successful because I went through the process. So the same way I got it before, I can get it again. Versus someone who wrapped themselves and they put their identity, they put their everything into what they have, then you find yourself going, when all those things are taken away from them, they're super stressed, and they're like, I got to get it back because what are people going to think and what are people going to say, and it's like, listen, if it comes or it goes, that shouldn't determine if you're successful. But what it does is lets you know that same thing that goes up goes down. But if you went through the process right, you can get it back again if you want it. If you want it. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. Like I said again, as I was looking at, you know, what Labor Day meant and why we have it, and a lot of times we just use it as a day, as an excuse to barbecue or a reason not to go. We are not at work, but that was truly a struggle and a fight that took place that prompted a celebration that the laborers, when they came together, they began to win. They got successful because what they wanted wasn't not it was yes an 8-hour work day, but they were able to do it not just for themselves but for other people. And when we begin to look at what success is in our own personal lives, you want to make sure that your success didn't come at the pushing down and the destroying of another person or persons. That everything that's going on in your life and all of your ups and downs, that you're successful because you're still a dreamer, you're still a creator, you're still, able to do. And even if you for whatever reason lose that ability, that it doesn't mean that you've lost your success. It just means now you have to go a different route. You got to now begin to navigate yourself in a different manner. I heard one of my mentors say to me, he said, being an entrepreneur just means that you're good at solving a problem in specific areas. So your genius is not transcending to every area, but specific areas in your life. And so what I want to say to you is that you may not feel like a success in every area of your life. But here's the thing, just because you're not a success in every area doesn't mean that you cannot become successful in those areas. For when you're successful in one, you may not be successful in another. And so you're able to go over to those other places and begin to work on that so that you can begin to be successful in it. You can't always be all things to everyone. You can try to be all things to everyone if you so desire. Being successful is a measurement that you create, and it's a measurement that not only you create but you maintain. So only you can say what is successful and what is not successful in your life. And though we may try to speak on another person's life or what they have as far as being something that you would like to have, the truth of the matter is that if they haven't declared it to be, then you just have to let them be right there where they are until they themselves see themselves as being successful or not. Listen, I thank you guys for rocking with me today. Um, I'm trying to put out, higher quality content as much as possible. Continue to follow us on social media, whether it is our like page on Facebook. We have our page on YouTube, our channel on YouTube, as well as even here on Instagram. So I'll be going live every Monday and Friday at 1 p.m. Thank you guys again. Have a great day and enjoy your weekend.